Noli Me Tangere or Touch Me Not is a 1887 novel by Jose Rizal during the colonization of the Philippines by the Spanish Empire. Describe perceived iniquities of the Spanish Catholic friars and the ruling government. Rizal's novel aims to probe the cancers of the Filipino society. Filipino culture was perceived to be backward, anti-progress, anti-intellectual, and not conducive to the ideals of the Age of Enlightenment. Noli Me Tangere's observations towards the following: government and officials, church and religion, education, romantic relationship, hobbies, rich and poor, and life in the city. Now, let's talk about the government and officials. Spain established centralized colonial government where Spanish king rules the Philippines through governor-general. Government forcefully collect taxes to build projects. Royal decrees and laws emanated from Spain were implemented in the Philippines, and local government administered province, cities, towns, and municipalities. Highest-ranking official has more power than the people of the nation. However, brutality and corruption of the Spaniards ruled in the Philippines. Biased treatment between the Filipino and the Spanish citizens emerged. Cruelty of the Spanish rulers towards the colonized country, treating them as servants only. And most high-rank officials are purely Spanish-blooded citizens. Government was administered by self-seekers motivated by the desire to enrich themselves at the expense of the people. Friars used Catholic Church for wealth and power to dominate. Banditry became prominent due to corruption and brutality of Guardia Civil. Here are the list of officials during the Spanish colonization. The Governor-General, the Residencia, the Vestador General, the Royal Audiencia, the Provincial Government, and the Municipal Government. Now let's talk about the church and religion. Catholicism is obvious in the church's ordered organization and hierarchy. Because at their time, even the clergies do not always believe in their religious ideals. Father Salve, for example, is lustful despite being a priest, and he seems to care about his position only because of the power it gives him. Captain Tiago is essentially uninterested in religion, save as method of gaining power, and he creates the appearance of being devout by paying others to pray for him. I think as friars, they never act according to God's purpose. They are the most sinners and brutal leaders of the church. Since religion holds the most vast and powerful dominion in the country at that time. Now let's talk about education. According to the novel, education is portrayed as a critical tool for combating tyranny. The church forbids Filipinos from studying Spanish at school, preventing them from having a good job. Rizal demonstrates that education's revolutionary potential is limited. Most of the teachings focuses on religion and limited informations towards Spain. Only the high-class citizens has the authority to afford education because unlimited education is only available abroad, which is quite expensive. Now let's go on into the romantic relationship or courtship as observed from the novel. Courtship at that time simply showcases respect and sincerity towards loved one. It somehow builds trust and sweetness that made relationship last long. Courtship happens first into the parents as a symbol for pure sincerity and respect. Then the visitation and paninilbi will take place in order to capture the admiration of the woman who has been courted. Like Maria and Crisostomo, they never made things rush. Instead, they still find it hard to build the relationship despite the ups and downs. For them, relationship takes time to grow and nourish before taking the step of marriage. Engaging to relationship takes sacrifice and efforts, and intimate relationship is not that crucial for them. Now let's talk about their hobbies. Their hobbies mostly focuses on writing and reading novels, books, making compositions, and discoveries. People from the past devote themselves for self-accomplishments and popularity. They also make use of opium poppy, drinking coffee, talking to friends, and doing chores or jobs. The term siesta also came from the Spanish colonizers taking as a rest after a long work. How about the rich and the poor based from the novel? There is a social inequality. There is a bias and opportunity given between the rich and the poor. Maltreatment is commonly seen towards the poor individuals. Brutality and oppression are what poor usually experience than the rich. And the poor serves as just a servant and a worthless individuals to the eyes of the rich. The imbalance is set apart by inconsistent freedom in schooling, occupation, work, equity, well-being, and additionally states of living such as pay, abundance, distinction, material products, and power. It is in this manner portrayed by wide aberration as far as remuneration and disciplined social positions or status and inconsistent appropriation of social and financial assets. It is true that a social cancer has dominated the country because if you are poor, it is your fate to suffer and die due to the colonizers who claimed the land. So what it is to live in a city previously versus at the present time? Previously, Manila is described as drab, outdated, and unappealing. The plaza streets have weathered, the unpaved streets, and uninteresting sceneries of the architectures. While at this time, huge architectures were developed that brought progress and opportunities to many Filipinos. This opened the doors for jobs and livelihood. Previously, lesser opportunities were given to many Filipinos and rampant crimes took place. Cultures and traditions were mostly linked to Spaniards, and Filipino-made stuffs were unappreciated and being looked down. However, at the present time, everyone has the freedom to bring themselves into progress. There has been no limitation taken between the rich and the poor. It only depends upon where and how you'll build yourself. However, at this present time, cruelty and brutality will never hide in society. We have all inherited a huge consequence that the colonizers have left upon us. Hence, at least at this moment, we have claimed the independence that we Filipinos have dreamed of. Thank you for watching. This has been Meredy Tiwanak, a first-year BS Ed Math student. God bless.